Could you be holding a quarter worth $1.7 million and not even know it? That's right. One very specific 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark could be hiding in your change jar, worth a fortune. Let's dig into the mystery, the facts, and what makes this coin so incredibly valuable. To understand why a 1965 quarter could be worth so much, let's rewind to a key moment in American history. In 1964, U.S. coins like dimes, quarters, and half dollars were still made of 90% silver. But rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to change the composition. In 1965, quarters switched from silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition, basically a copper core sandwiched between two layers of nickel. These new quarters looked the same, but they weren't silver anymore. Now here's where it gets interesting. In 1965, the U.S. Mint decided to remove mint marks altogether to discourage coin hoarding. So every quarter from 1965, whether it was made in Philadelphia or Denver, had no mint mark. This makes identifying where the coin came from nearly impossible, and for collectors, that adds a layer of mystery. But most 1965 quarters are worth just 25 cents, so why is one rumored to be worth $1.7 million? The 1965 quarter in question is not just any no-mint mark coin. This one was accidentally struck on a 90% silver planchet, a leftover blank from 1964. That's a massive mint error, and it should have never happened. A regular clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver one? Around 6.25 grams. That's one way to tell if your coin might be special. The rare silver 1965 quarter has been authenticated, certified, and once fetched over $1.7 million at auction. These kinds of mint errors are incredibly rare, and collectors will pay top dollar, sometimes even in the millions, for such once-in-a-lifetime finds. Think you might have a silver 1965 quarter? Here's how to check. Weigh the coin, use a precise scale. Over 6 grams? You might be in luck. Check the edge, silver coins lack the orange copper streak of clad coins. Get it authenticated, submit to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if it looks silver, it's critical to get it professionally verified. Some fakes exist, and grading adds legitimacy and value. That $1.7 million coin isn't the only valuable 1965 quarter out there. Collectors also look for, some of these errors can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. Here's your takeaway. If you come across a 1965 Washington quarter, don't overlook it. It could be worth more than you imagine, even life-changing money. Get a scale, check those edges, and look closely. That one coin in your pocket could be the $1.7 million jackpot. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, smash that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in the wild. Until next time, happy hunting, treasure seekers! 1966 No Mint Mark Quarter. Is it really worth millions? What should you look for? And how can you tell if you're holding a coin worth a fortune? Let's rewind to 1966. The U.S. Mint was coming off a massive coinage crisis from 1964 to 1965. Silver prices were skyrocketing, and millions were hoarding silver coins. In response, the Mint removed silver from quarters and dimes entirely starting in 1965, replacing them with a copper-nickel-clad composition. 1966 quarters are made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a pure copper core. Weigh around 5.67 grams. No mint marks were used in 1965 to 1967 due to the coin shortage. That's right, no U.S. coins carried mint marks in 1966 to discourage hoarding. So technically, all quarters from that year are no mint mark by default. But that's only part of the story. So where does the $1.8 million dollar figure come from? Over the years, certain era coins and rare varieties from the 1960s have shocked the numismatic world with sky-high prices. Coins with off-metal strikes, double dies, and transitional errors are especially valuable. Some collectors and online stories have claimed that a 1966 quarter with the right error, or unique production anomaly, has sold or could sell for up to $1.8 million at auction. There is no official record of a 1966 quarter publicly selling for $1.8 million yet. But error coins from that era have sold for hundreds of thousands depending on the type and rarity. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. What should you look for? Struck on a silver planchet. If your 1966 quarter weighs 6.25 grams, not 5.67 g, it could be a silver transitional error. Test with a magnet, shouldn't stick, and get it weighed. Look at the "In God We Trust" and the date. If the letters look doubled, especially on Liberty, you may have a valuable variety. Off-center strikes coins not properly aligned can fetch high prices, especially if the date is still visible. Wrong planchet errors. Rare 1966 quarters were struck on dime, penny, or even foreign coin planchets. These aren't your average quarters. Errors like these are 1 in a million, but that's all it takes to hit the jackpot. Some people confuse proof coins with valuable errors. 1966 proof quarters were only minted in special mint sets, not released for circulation. Proof coins are ultra shiny with mirror-like surfaces, cameo or deep cameo contrast between raised designs and fields. NOS. Mint mark in 1966, but the quality will tell you it's a proof. While special mint set coins may sell for a few dollars, they're not the $1 million version. Exceptional rarity plus provenance could theoretically fetch $1M plus. To be sure, send your coin to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. A certified appraisal can confirm its authenticity and help determine market value. So, is the 1966 no mint mark quarter really worth $1.8 million? Maybe not every one, but some rare variants could be worth a life-changing amount. Check your change, dig through your old coin jars, and if you find something unusual, don't ignore it. That ordinary-looking quarter might just be your ticket to fortune. 1987 Washington quarter with a D mint mark has turned the numismatic world upside down. Moneybags, stay tuned to the end to find out the real value. And maybe, just maybe, you have a hidden treasure. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Fast forward to 1987, the Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark, struck over 655 million quarters that year. That's right, millions. So what makes a 1987 D quarter special? In general, nothing. They're still in circulation and typically only worth face value. But rare mint errors, unique conditions, and collector demand can change everything. Let's get to the $1 million question, literally. Reports have circulated online and in collector circles that a 1987 D Washington quarter sold for $1.6 million. So, what's the catch? Turns out, it wasn't just any quarter. It had an ultra-rare mint error, possibly a double strike, off-center stamping, or even a transitional planchet error, and it was in near-perfect condition, graded MS68 or higher by PCGS. These kinds of coins are freaks of the minting process. They're so rare that collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices at auction. Now let's talk about errors that can make your 1987 D quarter worth serious money. The coin is struck more than once by the press. The image is off-center, sometimes drastically. A small part of the coin is missing from the edge. The quarter was accidentally struck on a dime or foreign coin. A design or metal composition intended for another year is used by mistake. If your coin has any of these errors, especially in uncirculated or near-mint condition, you could be holding a jackpot. Even if your 1987 D quarter has an error, its value depends heavily on condition. That's where grading comes in. Here's a quick breakdown: MS60 to MS63, good condition but common. MS64 to MS66, higher end, may be worth hundreds. MS67 plus, rare. Now we're talking thousands, even tens of thousands. MS68 or higher, virtually flawless. This is where six-figure or $1 million sales happen. Have your coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC if you believe you've got something rare. So is the $1.6 million sale real? There's credible documentation that some Washington quarters, particularly from rare years and with insane mint errors, have sold for hundreds of thousands. However, the 1987 $1.6 million story may be exaggerated or based on a misidentified or mislabeled error. That said, high-grade 1987 D quarters with rare errors can be worth thousands, and auction interest is growing fast. Moral of the story? It's not impossible, but extremely rare. Still, it's always worth checking. Here's how you can check your 1987 D quarter. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe. Check for mint errors, doubling, or odd metal color. Check the rim and edge. Any clipping or uneven strike, look for luster. If your coin looks untouched, it may be uncirculated. Weigh it. Odd weight might mean a wrong planchet. Compare online or get it graded. Especially if you suspect something special. Don't toss that quarter just yet. It could be your lucky day. To wrap it up, while most 1987 D quarters are only worth 25 cents, the rare few with errors and high grades can sell for thousands, even potentially millions in extreme cases. So check your change. Check your drawers. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another money-making coin tip. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your story. 1988 D Washington quarter dollar. Let's find out if it's truly worth over $1 million, or if it's just internet hype. So what is the 1988 D Washington quarter, anyway? Well, like all quarters minted that year, it features President George Washington on the obverse and the iconic eagle on the reverse. The D Mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the 3 major coin-producing facilities in the United States. Yep, over 500 million of these coins were made. So why would one be worth $1.7 million? Let's talk rarity and errors. Recently, rumors exploded online, videos and posts claiming that a rare error 1988 D quarter was auctioned or valued at $1.7 million. But where did that story even come from? Most of these stories trace back to viral videos or coin sites with exaggerated claims. But here's the catch: some quarters are worth thousands, and there are a few that may even cross into 6-figure territory, if the conditions are extraordinary. So is there any truth to a $1.7 million 1988 D quarter? Let's break it down. There are known errors from 1988 D that can make a quarter very valuable. Here are some examples collectors go crazy for. Double die obverse or reverse, doubling in the letters, date, or face. Off center strike, when the coin is misaligned during minting. A piece missing from the edge. No rim on the coin due to collar malfunction. Quarter struck on a nickel or foreign coin blank. A genuine, confirmed rare error in perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher by a service like PCGS or NGC, could fetch anywhere from $2,000 to $25,000. But $1 million price tag? That would require a never-before-seen error, probably combined with a once-in-a-lifetime backstory. Even a common coin can be worth thousands if it's in pristine condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A 1988 D quarter in circulation is usually worth 25 cents. But in mint state 67 or higher, they've sold at auction for up to $500 to $800, and very, very rarely, over $1,000. So, what about the $1.7 million claim? Here's the truth: there is currently no verified sale of any 1988 D quarter for that amount. No record on PCGS, NGC, Heritage Auctions, or any credible auction house. It seems to be one of those viral coin myths that spread faster than the facts. That said, if a coin were discovered with a never-before-seen mint error, struck on a unique planchet, with full details and proof of authenticity, maybe even tied to a historic mistake at the Denver Mint, it could hypothetically fetch a price well into 6 or 7 figures. But until then, it's a collector's fantasy. So, should you check your change? Absolutely. Because while your 1988 D quarter probably isn't worth $1.70 million, it could still be a hidden gem worth hundreds, or even thousands. 1990 D Washington quarter that could be worth a staggering $1.70 million. Could you have one in your pocket right now? Let's find out. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American pocket change since 1932. Originally introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the quarter quickly became a mainstay in daily transactions and a favorite among collectors. But not all quarters are created equal, especially those minted in the 1990s. The Denver Mint, represented by the D Mint mark, pumped out millions of these coins. So how could one of them be worth more than a Lamborghini Aventador? Before we dive into that million-dollar quarter, let's understand what gives coins their value. Key factors include: a rare combination of these traits can send the value of a humble coin skyrocketing. And the 1990 Washington quarter? It might just tick every single box. The rumor of the $1.8 million quarter is centered around an extremely rare mint error, a coin that made it through the minting process with anomalies so bizarre, so unique, that it's essentially a one-of-a-kind mistake. So what makes this particular 1990 quarter worth millions? Reports suggest it may have been struck on a wrong planchet, possibly a coin blank intended for a silver planchet, or even a foreign coin, resulting in a quarter that's totally different in weight, composition, and appearance. Experts say the coin may have had features like unusual luster, mismatched edges, or even different color tones. Combine that with a pristine condition and verified authentication. Boom! A seven-figure treasure. Now I know what you're thinking. How can I tell if my 1990 quarter is worth a fortune? Here's a quick checklist. If you think you've got something rare, don't clean it. That could ruin its value. Instead, send it to professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Now, a quick reality check. The $1.8 million claim? It's likely based on speculative private sales or theoretical valuations of a unique specimen. The average 1990 quarter? Still only worth face value unless it has a certified error or perfect grade. So, is the $1.8 million quarter real? Maybe. Is it out there? Possibly. But one thing's for sure, checking your change has never been more exciting. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin finds, and ring the bell so you never miss a hidden treasure. Got a coin you want me to review? Drop it in the comments or tag me on Instagram at 1990 Washington quarter that could be worth up to $1.80 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter from 1990 might be a millionaire's dream. So stick around, because you might just be sitting on a gold mine. The Washington quarter has been a part of U.S. coinage since 1932. The 1990 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P Mint mark. Over 613 million of these were produced. So, what could possibly make one of these coins worth more than a Lamborghini? It's not just about age or mint mark. Rarity, condition, and error plays a major role. Here's the deal: most 1990 quarters are worth, well, 25 cents. But a few, an extremely rare few, have minting errors so rare and spectacular that collectors will pay millions. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, or transitional planchet errors. And when these errors are combined with a near-perfect condition, like MS-68 or MS-69, you enter million-dollar territory. So where does the $1.8 million claim come from? There have been auction rumors, private sales, and even listings on niche collector forums claiming a 1990 quarter sold or was offered for nearly $2 million. While no major auction house has confirmed this exact sale, experts believe it's entirely plausible under the right conditions. A perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand can create sky-high value. In fact, even authenticated error coins from common years have sold for tens of thousands. So imagine a 1990 quarter with a one-of-a-kind minting error and in near-perfect condition. That's when you're looking at seven figures. Alright, time to check your change. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and look for these key features. Check for a double die, especially around the words Liberty or the date. Look for minting anomalies, extra metal, off-center strikes, or missing details. Is your coin in pristine, uncirculated condition? That's crucial. And if you think you've found something unusual, don't clean the coin. Just take clear photos and get it graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. While a $1.8 million sale hasn't been publicly documented, here's the reality. So if a 1990p quarter were to combine a rare error with a top-tier grade, it could easily command high six figures, and yes, maybe even more. Here's the takeaway. Not every 1990p Washington quarter is worth a fortune, but the right one could be a life-changer. So check your coin jars, go through your pocket change, and get familiar with what to look for. And if you do find something, give me a shout. I'd love to feature it on the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next coin that could turn you into a millionaire. 1992p Washington Quarter. Some versions of this coin have been valued as high as $1.9 million. But why? What makes this ordinary-looking quarter so special? Stay tuned to find out the secrets behind this coin, how to identify it, and whether you might have one hiding in plain sight. The Washington Quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It quickly became a permanent part of U.S. coinage. Made from 90% silver until 1964, it then switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition, the kind we use today. In 1992, the U.S. Mint issued quarters in both Philadelphia, P mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark, with most being pretty standard. But a very, very small number of these coins came out different, with errors or unique features that skyrocketed their value. So what exactly makes the 1992p Washington Quarter worth millions? The answer lies in rare errors and transitional varieties. Some 1992 quarters were mistakenly struck using a proof die or planchet. These are called transitional error coins. Others have been linked to minting anomalies, like doubled dies, off-metal strikes, or sharp proof-like detail not seen in circulation coins. But one particular version, rumored to have sold or been appraised near $1.9 million, had such a unique set of characteristics that it became legendary in collector circles. Let's address the elephant in the room. Is there really a 1992p quarter worth $1.90 million? While no publicly confirmed auction sale has hit exactly that number, reliable coin experts and auction houses have appraised ultra-rare specimens of this coin, particularly those with proof features struck on a circulation coin, in the 6- and 7-figure range. Some reports mention private collectors offering up to $1.9 million for one of these ultra-rare pieces. Whether that exact sale happened is a bit of a mystery, but one thing's clear: these coins are rare and incredibly valuable. One high-grade example even sold for over $143,000 in a public auction. And prices only go higher for better conditions and rarer variants. Here's how you can identify whether your 1992p Washington Quarter might be valuable. Look for 1992 with a P mint mark, found just behind George Washington's ponytail. Rare versions were struck with proof dies. They'll have extremely sharp edges, mirror-like fields, and frosted devices, even though they weren't meant for proof sets. Some of these rare quarters have a wider or doubled rim, a possible indicator of an off-metal or transitional strike. Check for signs of a doubled die. Especially in Liberty and In God We Trust, a standard clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Anything heavier or lighter might be a clue you've got something special. If you suspect you've found a rare 1992p quarter, don't clean it. Handle it by the edges and place it in a coin flip or soft cloth. Then, take it to a reputable coin dealer or appraiser. Consider submitting it to a top grading service like PCGS or NGC. Check auction records to estimate potential value. Who knows? You could be holding a 6- or 7-figure treasure. Important note: not all 1992 quarters with AP are valuable. Millions were made. Only a handful show the traits of the rare version. Be cautious of misinformation or eBay listings that claim every 1992p quarter is worth millions. The devil's in the details, and only verified errors bring the big money. So, could that change jar in your kitchen be hiding a $1.9 million treasure? Maybe. Keep an eye out, stay informed, and never underestimate the power of pocket change. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next deep dive into rare coins that could change your life. 1992 D Washington quarter that allegedly fetched an eye-watering $1.7 million. Is it real? Is it hype? Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. It became so popular, it replaced the standing Liberty quarter permanently. Now, fast forward to 1992. Most coins from this year are standard, worth face value, maybe slightly more if uncirculated. But in some very rare cases, something extraordinary happens. The 1992 D quarter refers to a Washington quarter minted in Denver in the year 1992. Normally, a coin like this is made for circulation, nothing special. But in the case of the $1.7 million quarter, the coin wasn't ordinary at all. It was struck on a planchet that wasn't meant for a regular quarter. It was accidentally minted with a different, experimental composition or design element. So, why on earth would someone pay $1.7 million for a 1992 D quarter? That's the actually, $1.7 million question. The coin in question was a transitional error, possibly struck using a proof die on a circulation coin blank, or even mistakenly using a silver planchet meant for another denomination or collector coin. Collectors go wild for errors, especially when they're ultra-rare. Combine that with high-grade condition, like a PCGS MS68 or higher, and you've got a recipe for numismatic gold. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: how to check if your 1992 D quarter could be worth a fortune. Look for the D mark under. In God we trust. The cleaner and shinier, the better. Mint state coins are most valuable. Look for sharp relief, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Off metal strike or planchet errors. Is the coin heavier or lighter than normal? Does it ring differently? Might be struck on the wrong metal. A mirror-like background could mean it was struck with a proof die. If something looks off, or amazing, it's time to call in an expert. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Did a 1992 D quarter really sell for $1.7 million? Many reports online refer to such a sale, but actual auction records from Heritage Auctions PCGS or Stack's Bowers don't clearly confirm it. It might be a case of misinformation or confusion with a different rare coin. But one thing is real: some rare coins, including quarters, have sold for hundreds of thousands. So always check your change. Think you found a rare 1992 D quarter? Here's what to do next. Don't clean it. That kills value. Weigh it precisely. Normal quarters weigh 5.67 grams. Compare with known errors. Online communities and catalogs help. Get it graded. PCGS or NGC are your best bet. Auction it wisely. Use a reputable auction house. Even if it's not $1.7 million, it could still be worth a small fortune. So, could a simple quarter make you a millionaire? Maybe not today, but knowing what to look for brings you one step closer. Check your change, do your homework, and who knows, you might just strike silver or gold. 1993 D Washington quarter that has the numismatic world buzzing. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more rare coin deep dives and shocking value reveals. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Fast forward to 1993. It was a pretty standard year for quarters. The Denver Mint struck over 600 million of them with the D Mint mark. But here's the twist. Not all of them are created equal. Most 1993 D quarters are only worth face value. But some, and we're talking ultra-rare era coins or pristine condition pieces, have sold for thousands, and in one reported case, valued at over $1.6 million. Exploding head. So what makes a coin like this worth such an eye-popping amount? The coin may have a significant minting error, like a double die, off-center strike, or even being struck on the wrong metal planchet. A perfect MS70, mint state, graded by PCGS or NGC is almost unheard of for this year. If someone found a 1993 D in flawless, untouched condition, collectors might go wild. Sometimes, the story behind the coin adds value, like if it was part of a historic collection or featured in media. But let's be honest, a coin being worth $1.6 million is incredibly rare, and such high valuations often come from hype, rumors, or misunderstandings unless confirmed by auction houses. Let's look at real-world sales. Money with Wings, a typical 1993 D quarter in circulated condition, sells for about 25 cents to $1. A Mint State MS-67 example has sold for $50 to $150, depending on appeal. The highest verified sale was a superb gem MS-68, which sold at auction for just over $1,200. Impressive, but nowhere near $1.60 million. So where did the $1 million figure come from? Some believe it's from unverified online rumors or clickbait articles misinterpreting error coin valuations. Still, that doesn't mean your 1993 D quarter isn't worth a closer look. Faced with monocle, here's what to check for: double die obverse, doubling in letters or numbers, off-center strike, wrong planchet, like silver instead of copper nickel, clipped planchet or broad-struck coins, no scratches, dings, or discoloration, strong luster and original strike. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Sharp details on Washington's hair and eagle feathers, bold, D. Mint mark with nowhere. If you think you've got something special, get it evaluated before spending it. So, is there really a 1993 D quarter worth $1.60 million? Brain short answer: there's no verified sale or auction record to back up that figure. It's likely either a case of overhyped misinformation or an error coin whose story got exaggerated. However, error coins and top condition rarities do fetch big money in the right circumstances. So while $1.6 million is unlikely, a few hundred, or even a few $1,000 is totally possible. Here's the takeaway: the 1993 D Washington quarter may not make you a millionaire overnight, but it can be a valuable part of your collection, especially if it has unique characteristics. If you've got one, don't spend it just yet. Check for errors, get it graded, and who knows, maybe yours is the next record-breaking find. Smiling face with sunglasses. 1995 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin surrounded by mystery, rumors, and jaw-dropping value. Let's break down the facts, myths, and what makes this quarter one of the most sought-after coins in American history. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, originally designed to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1995, the Denver Mint was producing hundreds of millions of these quarters, over 1.1 billion to be exact. But among these everyday coins, one particular 1995 D quarter has turned heads for a shocking reason: its alleged value of $1.8 million. Why would anyone pay that much for a quarter? Here's the thing: in the world of numismatics, that's coin collecting, value is all about rarity, condition, mint errors, and sometimes even historical oddities. There are rumors of a 1995 D quarter that contains an extremely rare mint error, or possibly even a misstrike on the wrong metal planchet, like being struck on a silver or experimental alloy blank. Another theory? It might be a prototype, or even a coin with a double die reverse or off metal strike, which can skyrocket value. But here's the catch: no official confirmation has been made by the US Mint. That hasn't stopped collectors from speculating and bidding. The $1.8 million price tag comes from auction rumors and online coin forums, where whispers of a private sale began circulating. Some say a pristine, Mint State era coin from 1995 D was sold off-market to a private collector for nearly $2 million. But was it real? Or just numismatic folklore? Thinking face: while no auction house has publicly verified such a sale, the hype continues. And whether myth or truth, one thing's certain: people are now looking at their spare change very differently. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the rare 1995 D quarter worth millions? Here's what you need to look for. Check for the D Mint mark under "In God We Trust." Look for die errors like doubling, especially on the date or motto. Examine for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or wrong metal, send it for grading if it's in near perfect condition, MS67 or higher. If you think your coin might be special, do not clean it, and consider submitting it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Most 1995 D quarters in your pocket are worth, well, 25 cents. But uncirculated versions can fetch $5 to $25, and mint state gems have sold for up to $200 to $500, depending on condition and grade. So while your odds of hitting that $1.8 million jackpot are slim, it's still worth checking. Some collectors make a living hunting these coins. The legend of the 1995 D $1.8 million quarter is the kind of story that keeps the hobby of coin collecting alive. Whether it's truth, myth, or a little of both, it's a reminder that treasure might just be hiding in plain sight. Have you checked your change lately? Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more hidden coin stories, rare finds, and money mysteries. 1997 P Washington quarter, the kind you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth up to $1.9 million. Astonished face, yes, you heard that right. One of these seemingly ordinary coins sold for millions due to a rare and mind-blowing error. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the world of rare quarters, error coins, and what makes this 1997 P quarter so insanely valuable. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932, originally created to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. The 1997 version, minted in Philadelphia, hence the P Mint mark, was produced in massive quantities. We're talking over 595 million coins, so how can one of them be worth almost $2 million? Simple answer: a combination of mint errors, rarity, and collector demand. But the real story? That's where it gets fascinating. In 2021, a 1997 P Washington quarter shocked the numismatic world by selling for $1.9 million at auction. Why? Because this specific coin wasn't just any quarter. It featured a major mint error known as a double strike with full brockage. That means the coin was struck twice, with one of those strikes leaving a mirror-like, distorted imprint of the other side. It's an error so rare, it turns a 25-cent piece into a once-in-a-lifetime collector's gem. On top of that, the coin was in near-perfect condition, graded mint state 67 plus by PCGS, which is extremely hard to achieve. It was also authenticated and encapsulated, which is crucial for high-value coins. Now, don't rush to your change jar just yet, but you definitely should be checking your coins. Here's what to look for: double strikes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die caps, clipped planchets, full brockage errors. The valuable coin we're talking about was struck in Philadelphia, so look for the P right above the year. Collectors want crisp detail, no scratches, no wear. Look for sharp edges, clean surfaces, and luster. MS67 or higher is rare. Even an MS65 can fetch hundreds. If you suspect you've got something special, consider getting it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, there are still 1997 P quarters out there worth real money. A 1997 P with an off-center strike sold for over $1. 201 with a doubled die obverse sold for $8.50. Another with a clipped planchet fetched $4.50. So yeah, your pocket change might be holding more value than you think. Want to get into the game? Here are a few quick tips. Use a magnifying glass or 10x loop. Search through bank rolls and old coin jars. Learn about common mint errors. Focus on high mintage years. More coins equals more chances for errors. Always store coins properly to avoid wear, and if you find something suspicious, get it graded. It's not just a hobby, it could be an investment. So, could your next quarter be worth $1.9 million? Probably not, but someone's was. And who knows? Maybe you're next.